the events that will unfold here in Abuja, the nation's capital. Now,
the Minister of State
would give insight to the arrangement of security in the nation's capital.
Permit me to stand on the established protocol. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this epoch-making event, the commissioning and handing over of operational vehicles to our security agencies in the FCT. Let me start by sincerely acknowledging the high commitment of His Excellency, the Honorable Minister FCT Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, CON, and the Honorable Minister of State FCT Dr. Maria Mahmoud, to the sustenance of the security of lives and property of residents in the FCT. I make bold to state that this wondrous feat has been achieved in part through robust engagement with provision of logistic support and requisite crime-fighting equipment to security agencies on one hand, and the implementation policies and programs of the present administration under the renewed hope agenda that promote constructive engagement and all stakeholders to give due attention to the security in the FCT. Your Excellency, sir, Abuja is a symbol of our nation and unity of heritage. Its peaceful ambience and hospitality environment have attracted many to the territory. This migration, however, put tremendous pressure on the existing facilities, to the environment and the administration. One of the manifestations of such pressure is evident in the rising security concern in and around the territory. The FCT administration, as a responsive arm of government, is sparing no effort in addressing security threats in the territory. Today's event is one of such attestation to many efforts of the present administration under the renewed hope agenda. On behalf of the FCT administration, I sincerely wish to welcome our esteemed guests to this important event. Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, the administration strongly believes that provision of this crime-fighting equipment will greatly empower and enhance the capacity of our security agencies in fighting crime and criminalities, respond promptly to distress situation, as well as rise to the security challenges confronting the territory. Please permit me to state here that crime prevention is the responsibility of all, and as such, all hands must remain on deck to ensure safety and security of all. Once again, I warmly welcome you to this commissioning and handing over of this operational vehicle fitted with latest communication equipment to our security agencies to fight crime. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Director, Security Services, FCTA, Adamugwari, FDC. He has welcomed us all, and he has made mention of an important point, that Abuja is a symbol of national unity, and therefore its ambience, its quiet, its security cover is important. He also added, without a doubt, that everybody's responsibility is security. Everybody. Honorable Minister of FCT, sir, Honorable Minister of State, FCT, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am, like most Nigerians, related to security persons. From my recently deceased uncle, the former Chief of Defense Staff, Admiral Ogohi, a fine gentleman, to Captain Kaza, my cousin who served in Liberia for ECOMOG. Many Nigerians have security persons who are their brothers, cousins, or friends. Let me place on the table, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that I married into the police family. My late father-in-law was a policeman. So when they say the police is your friend, it does not apply to me, Your Excellencies, because in my case, the police is my family. On behalf of the bigger security family, we thank the Honorable Minister for this gesture to make the work of security agencies easier. It is time now to invite a member of that larger security family, the Honorable Commissioner of Police, FCT, Bernard Igwe, who is represented today by DCP Kayode Ojakpinwa, to deliver his appreciation remarks on behalf of other security agencies.
The Honorable Minister, Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, CON, permit me to stand on the already established protocol. We were dumbfounded, let me speak on behalf of my people, for the magnanimity of the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, for the giving us, all the things I've been doing in the FCT to make sure that the security of lives and property is guaranteed. When I got there, I saw about 100 vehicles. I was baffled that Mr. Project has come again. We want to appreciate you, sir, and we are promising you today that we are going to make intensive use of these vehicles. We are going to put it outside to make sure that everybody in Federal Capital Territory lives. It's a safe haven for us. Thank you very much, sir.
DCP Ojakpinwa has made his comments, and because his comments is about thankfulness, he has kept it short. He represents the Commissioner of Police, FCT. Thank you very much indeed. We appreciate you. Please join me now in welcoming a woman of many parts who sits in the strategic seat of FCT Minister of State, providing to be part of this ceremony today, where FCT, where I live, is going to be even more secure than it used to be with what the Honorable Minister is about to do. It is because life and death are two sides of the same coin that legacy matters. Legacy is not what I did for myself, it is what I'm doing for the next generation, according to Victor Belfort. Honorable Minister, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, legacy is described as a long-lasting impact of particular events and actions that took place in the past or of a person's life. Wherever one finds themselves in whatever position, one must hold on to legacy as a guiding force to do well. Nobody remains in the same spot forever. We keep moving, and when we look back, whether we are on this side of the divide or not, we must be able to thump our chest and say, this is what I left behind. This is my legacy. Nobody understands the power and the import of legacy better than the Honorable Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike. Mercurial, ebullient, resilient, and power-packed, the FCT Minister is ensuring that his legacy becomes a big shoe that others would struggle to follow. Today, he has called us all together to beef up the security coverage of the FCT, to ensure that ordinary citizens in the FCT can sleep better, outdoing himself one project at a time, one strategic support at a time. Join me to welcome our collective landlord, the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike.
The Minister of State of the Federal Capital Territory, members of the National Assembly that are here, distinguished senators, former Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, our dear leaders, the Chairman, Civil Service, FCT, the Head of Service and Chief of Staff, and other management staff of the FCTA, the representative of the Commissioner of Police, and other heads of securities that are here, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Eugenia, on behalf of the FCT, let me sympathize and commiserate with you over the loss of your cousin. May his or her soul rest in peace. Today is a very important day in the administration of the Federal Capital Territory. Very important in the sense that we are no longer talking about infrastructure. We are no longer talking about taking development to the area councils, but we're now talking about a key factor, a key agenda in the New Hope mantra, and that has to do with security. One of the key points or priorities of Mr. President is security of life and property. Any government that cannot secure lives and property has no business in governance. And so it's a priority for Mr. President that Nigerians are secured. And who are those that are responsible? It is our various security agencies, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the police, the civil defense, the state security services, and all other security agencies. For us as a government, it is not the responsibility of Mr. President to go and identify where the criminals are. It's not my responsibility or the Minister of State responsibility to go and engage criminals, but it is our responsibility to provide the tools for the security agencies to confront these criminals and make sure we sleep with our two eyes closed. If we do not play this role, it will be difficult for our security agencies to be effective to carry out this function of securing lives and property. You know, one thing I found that with Nigerians, or some Nigerians, let me not say with Nigerians, is that if they know the enormity, the role security agencies have been playing to secure our lives, all we owe them every time is to continue to pray for them, for their lives. The only thing we remember that there was an incident yesterday, but we forget that the security agencies have stopped so many of those incidents that would have taken lives and destroyed properties. If one incident happens, we do as if security agencies are not doing anything. Every day I get security reports, and I know the efforts of security agencies. If we avail you with what the security agencies do every day, day and night, you'll be surprised. The kind of crimes they have stopped, the kind of criminals, every day they arrest to make sure that we move forward with our lives, we carry out our businesses without any hindrance. So we must at all times continue to support them, pray for them. They're also human. They have families. Sometimes they go out and engage criminals, sometimes they lose their lives. For whose interest? For our own interest. So all we need is not just when an incident has happened, we forgot the ones they've been able to avert. The only way we can continue to support our security agencies is not to condemn, is to encourage them, and they will do more. But if one incident happens, you totally say security architecture in Nigeria has failed. That is unfair. That's unfair. There's nowhere in this world, even United States of America, even UK, sometimes you have one major security event that took place where 50 people have died. They don't say our security has failed. No, they don't condemn their security personnel. No. What we do to encourage them. So our duty here is to encourage you, to give you your tools that you will use to work for the interests of our people. So we're not just concentrating in infrastructure. We're not just concentrating in bringing development to the hinterland. We're also concentrating to provide security in order to protect life and property. But what I want to appeal to our security agencies is that we must use these tools for the benefit of our society. It's very, very key. I was a governor. I know how many times I provide some of these logistics, provide these vehicles, and then within 2 months, you cannot account for it. It's unfair. That again, those security personnel are not being fair to the society. This is taxpayers' money. It's not my personal money. It also includes your own because you pay tax. And we have used the taxpayers' money to provide this for you to use to protect life and land property. It is not for you to use as a private vehicle because it's air-conditioned. Then you use it to be carrying your wives instead of it to be used for the purpose for which it's. I'm saying this with a lot of experience. You go to the CP's house, they are packed there. It's not necessary. You go to the civil defense, the head, 2 are packed there. Doing what? When he's going to church or mosque, he drives it. You go to the director of SSS, you see one fine one is parked there. It is not for that purpose. These vehicles are to be used both in the rural areas and in the city, so that these criminals will know that we are ready for them, that we are battle ready for them. And you are doing a wonderful job as far as the city is concerned. But our efforts must be taken to the rural areas because it's been hectic. Let it not be that the people will not feel the presence of these vehicles. When these criminals, they are watching us now. They know. And let us tell them that, yes, yesterday you escaped, but today you are likely not to escape. Let them know that you are serious. Make these residents, those who carry out business in Abuja, to feel free, to move around in the night, to move around in the daytime. Give them that confidence. Give them that hope. And that is why we are doing what we are doing today. With what you have done, with what you have done in FCT, by reducing the level of crime, we commend you. Some people will never commend you. There are those who will never say anything good in their life. It's their nature. And there's nothing you can do about that. Don't relent. We are here to give you support. And so, on behalf of the FCT, on behalf of Mr. President, I want to sincerely say that whatever the security agencies need for them to combat crime, we are ready to give. We are ready to give. Because when we came on board, one of the things I found out was that I had it for them to have a good car. I mean, logistic vehicle like this. And we said, that cannot be. The other communication gadgets that are provided there, which you have to use in doing your work. We are ready to do our own part. You also will be ready to do your own part. I believe with the commitment you have shown, God will be on our side. We will continue to provide the best for our people. Let me therefore invite the representative of the Commissioner of Police. Where's the Director of Security Services? Okay. Where's the... Let me therefore, on behalf of Mr. President, present this to you on behalf of your colleagues other security agencies to use these vehicles and other communication gadgets to fight crime for the interests of our people. Thank you, and God bless you.
I'd like now to invite the security heads to join the Honorable Minister as he makes his way down, and all those who are responsible for that.
Hello? Hello?